present issues and wealth creation. PAC demands action on delayed pension payments and low civil servant salaries. Government to prioritize concessional loans to extend domestic date maturities. Hello there and welcome once again. We are coming to you live online and on air from Broadcasting House here on Nile Avenue. On sign language, it is Elizabeth Nakakoni and I am Rukidi Kiijjanangoma. President Yoweri Museveni has met national resistance movement leaders from Greater Masaka at State Lodge Masaka and urged them to focus on the real challenges affecting citizens. Mr. Museveni called on the leaders to expose corruption at local levels, promote government programs and prioritize issues that directly affect people's livelihoods instead of engaging in political arguments. The meeting was organized by Masaka City Woman Member of Parliament-elect Justin Namere. The president warned that silence is the face of corruption and weakens service delivery and erodes public trust. He also cautioned leaders against sectarianism and urged them to promote national unity. Museveni encouraged NRM leaders to confidently explain government achievements and mobilize communities to embrace wealth creation programs such as the Parish Development Model and Operation Wealth Creation. Honorable Namere thanked the President for meeting the leaders and pledged to continue mobilizing communities in Masaka to support government programs that are aimed at fighting poverty and promoting development. Government is to consider prioritizing concessional loans as a measure to control the public debt burden. The Permanent Secretary and Secretary to the Treasury, Ramadan Gobi, says concessional borrowing will lengthen domestic debt maturities and improve borrowing terms. We have more in this story.
Officials from the Ministry of Public Service have for the third time appeared before the Public Accounts Committee to respond to queries raised in the Auditor General's report for the audit year ended December 2025. The officials were led by the Ministry's Permanent Secretary, Catherine Bitarakwate Musingwiri, who apologized to the committee for failing to appear on the previously scheduled dates.
Inconveniences caused are regretted.
According to the Auditor General's report, the Ministry was tasked to explain the persistent understaffing in government institutions, which currently stands at 46%, especially in the education and health sectors.
The total approved establishment for Uganda Public Service stood at 658,104 positions, of which 356,504 were filled.
We are balancing between strengthening the manpower and providing money for salary enhancement, which
Instead of first recruiting more people, and then when they are there, you can now begin planning how to increase their salary when they are all there, when you have filled up the gaps. I don't know which one should have been the priority.
Committee members also expressed concern over the low salaries paid to civil servants, noting that the situation has contributed to increased corruption tendencies in public service. The Permanent Secretary, Catherine Bitarakwate, explained that the starting salary for many public servants ranges between 250,000 and 600,000 shillings, which some legislators argue is insufficient to sustain workers under the current economic conditions.
Do we pay somebody at U8?
It's 250.
Which categories are those? Cleaners, what?
Yes, office attendants.
Office attendants, drivers. So we should start thinking about some of these issues. 200,000 in this country, really.
Why government chooses to keep that lower salary, yet they know people cannot leave it, and they use other mechanisms to support those people to continue living a better life.
Members of Parliament also raised concerns over the difficulties pensioners face when accessing their pension payments, as well as allegations of the sale of government jobs.
Why is it that in Uganda you just don't transition to pension? You still have to work day and night, travel, sleep out.
I would request that you give, say, a time to listen to pensioners. I don't know how you can do it, but you put a special announcement in the whole country to call every person who is complaining about issues of pension.
Bitakwate said the ministry is working closely to ensure address of these challenges.
19 regional centers so that we can receive these complaints. It is our work plan for
Yeah, the biggest problem is that one.
She also clarified the ministry's position to the committee on whether public servants are allowed to participate in partisan politics.
They are prohibited from being founding members of a political party, holding office in a political party, speaking in the public on anything involving matters of a political party, showing party symbols, and engaging in canvassing support for an independent candidate or political party.
Rebecca Nantongo, Gloria Gwitabinji at Parliament.
And we do apologize for the mix-up of the stories there, but that story was about the Public Accounts Committee of Parliament that has tasked the Ministry of Public Service to establish faster and more efficient mechanisms for handling delayed pension payments. Now, the committee members, as you've just watched, say delays in accessing pension benefits is affecting the retirement plans and livelihoods of many pensioners. We do apologize for the mix-up there. Now, Uganda Police Force intends to leverage social media and influencers to respond to the rising crime rate in the country. While engaging media personalities and social media influencers, the liaison officer from the Directorate of the Chief Political Commissar, Dr. Aisha Kayongo, reiterated the importance of incorporating social media into the force's community policing model. We have more in this story.
Amid rising crime levels in the country, the Uganda Police Force has embarked on community-based approach to curb crime. Through the Directorate of the Chief Political Commissioner, several alternative measures have been rolled out to strengthen community policing.
What best interventions can we do to see that we could try as much as possible to limit these ones? Because in most cases, we are all there, we see what is happening, but we don't report. You only wait when it comes on your side, even if it were your neighbor. How many, we talk about neighborhood watch schemes and groups. We already have the sub-county model, into your communities, but we're not taking advantage of it.
The force also intends to utilize social media and other emerging technologies to help detect, report, and respond to crime more effectively. However, the public has been urged to use social media responsibly when participating in community policing efforts.
Like you, the categories of social media creators and information, those ones who cascade information. It's the thing we want us to do. When we go back to our communities, engage within those other sectors. What do we do? Like now you are the social media person. What can you do for your community? Yeah, you've seen crime being committed. I can get this information. I can have it shared with this person or the other person, and then it helps to, work with preventing these crimes.
Local leaders have also been called upon to create social media platforms or neighborhood groups to facilitate neighborhood watch initiatives and improve coordination among community members.
You can create your own groups. I can say where I stay on the village where I stay. I know my local council chairperson. I know my neighbor. We have up to 10 houses. We police ourselves. That even if a third came at night and attacked one, we have a social media group. It's going to alert you. You'll hear the notification at around in the night. We must have to facilitate more of prevention than response for us to have our communities a little bit more secure.
Police have further assured the public that the identity of vigilantes and individuals who provide information about criminal elements in their communities will remain anonymous.
But one thing I've seen about us, my sisters and brothers of Uganda, we are too relaxed. We are too relaxed. Nobody is bothered. We will wait. Someone they're stealing from them, you won't even bother to know why maybe this tax came. You are going maybe to say, it's not my time. You have to wait for yours.
The Uganda Police Force believes that with the stronger community participation, these new strategies will significantly contribute to combating crime across the country. Komagum Rogers and Abdul Nasir Luwama for UBC.
Now, the Prime Minister of Uganda, Robin Nabbanja, today resumed inspection of Kampala roads which are under construction. During her inspection, Nabbanja mounted pressure on KCCA engineers and contractors over the delays to complete the construction of roads under their contracts.
This morning, the Prime Minister of Uganda, Robin Nabbanja, endured the heavy downpour and fulfilled her constitutional obligation of ensuring that Ugandans get value for money. The Prime Minister started with the Nakawa-Bugolobi-Ruzira Road, roads within the industrial area, Sir Apollo Kagwa Road, Chebando Road, and Masiro Rugara Road. At Meat Packers, the Premier discovered that businessman Masaka Balaba allegedly broke the contractor from constructing a drainage channel, demanding to be paid 3 billion shillings.
Masaka Balaba, we just want to pass water because there is already a channel, except it's small. So we want to put one that can handle this volume of water. He widen it, but he wants compensation for
We are closing it.
How much does he want?
I think we wanted about, it was about 3 billion.
At Chebando Road, the Chinese contractor, China Railways 18, left a manual cover in the middle of the road, putting the lives of motorists in danger.
He's supposed to be arrested. This one I'm arrested.
Yes. They started knocking here. They have started knocking here.
Every day they are knocking here. Every day.
Come and see. Come, you come.
But what is the role of our engineer?
See this? They are knocking every day. Yes, they are knocking and they are dying every day.
No, we are going to
We are just going to arrest them, not now. We instructed almost 3-4 months back. We have given them a warning letter.
All the vehicles lock themselves there. But every day. That thing, they knock it. Actually, you made it badly. That thing is in the middle of the road. You can also see.
China. If you were in China, they would hang you. True. Where is littered? Museveni yokugwa because you are not doing your work.
Later, the Premier convened a meeting at her office in Kampala, where she expressed disappointment with KCCA engineers and the contractors.
I want you to remember how many questions our president had to answer. Just because some of you are just jokers. We are just from an election. And by the way, I'm not wondering, sometimes we blame Kampala people. They don't support us. Some of them don't support us. Those are some of the things. Is it intentional? Isn't that political sabotage? Are you trying to put government in a bad light? Are you not an agent of opposition?
Nabbanja said she will not sit back, but use her power entrusted her in the Constitution of Uganda.
I will not talk. I want action. For me, I have powers from the Constitution, leave alone these other laws, from the Constitution, to do what I'm doing right now. I am the leader of government business, including everything. So we shall not allow you to make our government look funny. That one is out. If I asked you this question, then that negligence of duty. And I want to ask another question. You saw cause why you are still in that office.
Right Honorable Prime Minister, I apologize. We didn't exert enough force to cause them to do it.
We took it for granted, but I apologize and I'm humbled. I promise that by the end of tomorrow, I'm going to supervise it myself and we make sure that all those manholes are buried.
KCC Executive Director Sharifa Bozeki thanked the Prime Minister for her intervention.
Now the Prime Minister has come, and that's why I'm thanking her, to put her weight on this so that you know, no one is witch hunting you. We want value for money.
You call it Chebano Ring Road. We need an audit on that road. Why don't you act? Why do you wait for the Prime Minister to come? Despite those few challenges here and there, Kampala is not now having potholes, at least that one.
Indeed, that is a very good question. Does it call for the Prime Minister to go out there to make sure that those roads are worked on? Yes, those who are negligent, they should do their work. To Bukedea now, where more than 2,000 people in eastern Uganda are expected to benefit from free eye treatment later this month. Now, this comes as preparations intensify for the Rajiv Ruparelia Memorial Eye Camp at Bukedea Teaching Hospital in Bukedea District.
Preventable blindness continues to affect thousands of people across eastern Uganda. For most families, the cost of specialized eye treatment remains far beyond reach. It is this gap that the Rajiv Ruparelia Memorial Eye Camp seeks to bridge.
So when we go to Bukedea, we are going to get a lot of these patients and give them treatment and avoid the blindness, and some of them will operate on them. Operating on glaucoma also costs about 5 million Uganda shillings. We are very grateful. If we did 50 of those, we'd be very happy.
The camp aims to screen more than 2,000 people and conduct about 300 cataract surgeries, including 50 for children.
This camp is going to be very unique. We are going to operate on children. When a child gets blind and we delay to operate on them, it becomes irreversible, because their brain is growing, the visual pathways are growing, and if we delay, we cannot do much when the child is older. We are going to operate on over 50 children in Bukedea, and already we have a waiting list for those children, and we hope to screen more when we get there.
And we believe this is going to have a better impact because we are looking at children. And when you work on a kid, then you know you have put a permanent mark on such a kid. We want to thank you so much for always being there for Bukedea, for being there for our people, and being there for humanity.
Anita Among described the outreach as a powerful partnership between government and the private sector in bringing essential health services closer to the people.
You are taking services nearer to the people of Bukedea, Eastern Uganda, and Teso. We want to thank you for complementing the government programs.
All done in memory of late Rajiv Ruparelia, whose passion for community service still lives on.
And every single service will be completely free of charge. What makes this camp different is that everything happens on the ground of Bukedea. The theaters come to the people. That's how Rajiv would have wanted it. We will support the initiative in memory of our brother, our son, and our friend. And we need to keep the name Rajiv alive.
The outreach begins on 27th and concludes on 29th March 2026. Organizers hope hundreds will regain their vision and with it, a renewed chance at living productive lives. I'm Nafka Farida and Henry Okrut.
Now, Uganda today joined the global community in celebrating 35 years of the Roots and Shoots program, a youth-led initiative that empowers young people to protect the environment, animals, and their communities.
The celebrations, organized by the Jane Goodall Institute Uganda, brought together students, teachers, and conservation advocates to reflect on the program's achievements over the years.
Last year, Jane passed on at the age of 91. Many people thought this was the end of the era of the then Eagle Rescue. But we had already planted the root through Roots and Shoots. And this root had grown, and by the time it grew 35 years, we having so many branches, hearing blue, and postal birds, insects, fruits for the human beings, fruits for the animals.
Founded in 1991 by renowned conservationist Jane Goodall, Roots and Shoots has grown into a global movement operating in more than 75 countries.
Roots and Shoots come at a time when degradation, especially deforestation, is at its highest. Here in Uganda, deforestation is engineered by commercial agriculture, by industrialization, but also by the growing number of people. We are now over 45 million against a standard area that's not expanding. Yet, the life of everybody, whether they are plants, whether they are animals, whether they are human beings, is brought from the sun through the plants.
In Uganda, the program now has over 210 clubs and more than 10,000 members across schools, universities, and community groups actively engaged in tree planting, environmental awareness, and community projects.
So, if as a country we do not check the levels of degradation, then we are bound to face bad environmental scenario in future. For those who have visited the deserts, you can feel the impact of degradation. So, as a Ministry of Education, we would love to ensure that the education about climate change is key in our schools and it has a focus.
Organizers say the anniversary aims to highlight youth-led innovations in conservation, mobilize partnerships, and inspire more young Ugandans to join the movement. For UBC News, I am Sudat Kaye.
The Minister for ICT and National Guidance, Dr. Chris Baryomunsi, has confirmed that Cabinet has approved a law that will guide spokespersons of all government institutions to ensure they communicate government programs with one voice. Dr. Baryomunsi made the remarks while attending an iftar dinner organized by the Ministry for Muslim staff from agencies under the ICT Ministry who are observing the holy month of Ramadan. The event was held in Nakawa.
Every year, the Ministry of ICT and National Guidance hosts an iftar dinner for Muslim staff from agencies operating under the ministry during Ramadan. These agencies include the Uganda Broadcasting Corporation, UBC, Uganda Communications Commission, UCC, National Information Technology Authority Uganda, NITAU, Uganda Post Limited, Posta Uganda, Uganda Institute of Information and Communications Technology, UICT, the Uganda Media Center, and the Media Council of Uganda. While speaking at the event held at the National ICT Hub in Nakawa, Dr. Chris Baryomunsi said the approved law will guide spokespersons in government institutions and ensure coordinated communication on government programs.
National communications policy in the cabinet, and it was approved. It's a policy which we have been working on over time, and the purpose of this policy is to harmonize communication within the government so that we have a harmonized, a coordinated, and a streamlined process of giving government communication.
Baryomunsi also outlined government plans to address the misuse of social media platforms, noting that measures are being considered to regulate harmful online conduct.
Very well know that that aspects of social media have become dominant in the communication, and therefore there was a need to come up with a policy which addresses what is current, and that's what we have done. And therefore, going forward, we are going to see a harmonized approach to government communication that rhymes with the new policy that we have put in place.
The permanent secretary of the ministry, Amina Zawede, encouraged Muslims to remain committed to the 5 pillars of Islam and continue observing the fast faithfully during the remaining days of Ramadan.
Days of putting all our hearts to God, seeking for forgiveness, seeking, giving gratitude to God, nurturing our souls spiritually.
Representing the Mufti of Uganda, Sheikh Shaban Ramadan Mobaji, the Secretary General of the Uganda Muslim Supreme Council, Sheikh Abbas Mulubya Sechanzi, who was the chief guest, commended the ministry for organizing the event. He said such initiatives strengthen Islam and promote cooperation between Muslims and the government.
We have a collective duty to ensure that technology is used to promote truth, respect, and constructive dialogue rather than division or misinformation.
The managing director of UBC, Winston Agaba, welcomed the law, saying it will help government institutions harmonize communication and improve service delivery.
This policy is really going to harmonize how government communicates and with all the communication arms of government, making sure that right from the district communication officers, we all work in tandem and make sure that UBC feeds into all the arms of government in terms of projects that are happening. And so we are excited that we shall have many more correspondents. The empowerment of staff, the training are all covered in the policy, and we look forward to a more vibrant sector and better way of government communicating.
Rebecca Natongo, Mike Bakabulindi, UBC News.
Somuchara.
Yes, Daddy.
You know the children are going back to school and things are a bit tight. Huh? For now, why don't you take half of the fees to junior school, and for the school van contribution, we shall pay later. Huh?
Daddy, why don't we pay using MTN Momo, where we stand a chance of winning school fees for a whole year and more? By the way, you can also apply for a school fees loan, and also participating schools can win a school van.
That's right! Win school fees for a whole year and more. Get Momo goodies and a school van for participating schools. You can also apply for a school fees loan. Simply dial *165*80# or use the Momo app.
It's back, bigger and with more business opportunities. It's the Pearl of Africa Tourism Expo Poate 2026, Uganda's flagship tourism event. Poate 2026 will take place from the 21st to the 23rd of May 2026 at the Speak Resort Convention Center, Munyonyo, under the theme Wanderlust. It's your time to thrive. Yes, it's your time to tap into Uganda's renewed optimism and tourism growth. Tourism stakeholders, travel trade partners, and tourism enthusiasts will be part of the Poate 2026. Come and network with like-minded people and unlock new business opportunities. To participate, register at www.poate.co.ug. Poate 2026 is brought to you by Uganda Tourism Board and partners.
Welcome back, and this is News Tonight here on UBC TV. The Ministry of Health has launched a Client Charter and Health Service Delivery 2025-2030 that's aimed at addressing gaps in the national health system for improved quality of health delivery in the country. Addressing the media, the Permanent Secretary, Minister of Health, Dr. Diana Atwine, noted that the Ministry of Health Client Charter shall be able to implement within the available resources in order to be held more accountable and also meet expectations of clients with better services.
The Ministry of Health has launched Client Charter and Health Service Delivery 2025-2030, aimed at addressing gaps in the national health system for improved quality of health delivery in the country. The Permanent Secretary at the Ministry of Health, Dr. Diana Twine, pledged that the Client Charter will be a gateway to fulfill the lessons and learning of modules undertaken by Ministry of Health.
The role of us as the ministry in planning, in budgeting, prioritizing, setting priorities, set regulations, and making sure that we do that. But most importantly, on this client charter, the main objective, as I conclude, is to bridge the gap between the service provider and the service consumer. That is it. That's the cardinal role of this document. And therefore it is upon us now to educate our people about what we are supposed to deliver. Not just outside, but even in the ministry here.
Jane Charisima Mwesiga, the Deputy Head of Public Service in charge of performance and service delivery at the Office of the Prime Minister, highlighted the challenges of weak performance management and supervision within the health sector.
This contributes to absenteeism, dual employment, poor work ethics, and negative attitudes among some health workers. It's a very, very big challenge. You will go to these health facilities, you realize that government has spent a lot of money in terms of recruitment, in terms of enhancement, but most of these health workers are not at the station. You go to the maternity ward, out of like 10 midwives, you will find like 3. They are moonlighting. So what does the regulation say?
The top management of Ministry of Health emphasized on the increasing awareness and overseeing the overall implementation of the service delivery standards using the established mechanism for planning, monitoring and evaluation, including the periodic performance reviews undertaken by the Ministry of Health.
The success of this charter and the standards will depend on how effectively they are implemented, so that we should not leave them in paper. We should be able to see that how are they implemented.
The Ministry of Health Service Delivery Standards form a critical part of a process required to improve quality of health service provided in the country. Zahara Abigaba, UBC News.
The Uganda Road Accidents Reduction Network, URENO, in partnership with Makerere University Business School logistics and transport students and other partners, have embarked on a joint partnership to offer practical solutions for safer border transport mobility in Uganda through helmet use awareness and sensitization. The move comes after civil society, police and KCCA reports which implicate Boda Boda riders as the most cause of road accidents and injuries and fatalities, both in Kampala and upcountry.
It was an innovation activity to do with road safety, especially on helmet use. It was important to involve students because students, considering the population of Uganda, they account for more than 60%, and road crashes affect them most.
The theme you have chosen that we have looked at today, that the students were presenting on, is very timely. Boda Bodas play a critical role in Uganda's transport system.
The culture starts from our families. So, but like some of us, we are preaching about seat belts, helmets, it has to be a culture instilled right from our families. So if you buy a helmet, you are seeing people talking of Rwanda. Because the children, by the time they grow up, they know that it's a norm.
Students exhibited innovations that they have come up with to attract a higher usage of elements in the Boda Boda transport industry. It has actually been a wonderful day. The innovations are quite interesting.
Challenge, because there's been debates of what's the role of academia when it comes to
a lot of things that happen in the country. So I believe this kind of partnership we're now forming with the various organizations will help us become more relevant as the university in the community.
Participants. Today is not just about competition, but then it's a celebration of creativity, ideas, and innovation. And the 10%. First hand up. Wow.
A government is to consider prioritizing concessional loans as a measure to control the public debt burden. The Permanent Secretary and Secretary to the Treasury, Ramadan Gobi, says concessional borrowing will lengthen domestic debt maturities and improve borrowing terms. PSSST Gobi and a team from the Ministry of Finance, Planning and Economic Development appeared before the Parliamentary Public Accounts Committee to respond to the queries on the audited accounts of the year ending June 2025.
By 30th June 2025, Uganda's public debt hit 115.403 trillion, registering an increase of approximately 66.76% in 5 years. Accordingly, the domestic debt significantly increased from 39.16 trillion in June 2024 to 59.02 trillion in June 2025. The Permanent Secretary and Secretary to the Treasury, Ramadan Gobi, and officials from the Ministry of Finance, Planning and Economic Development appeared before the Parliamentary Public Accounts Committee to respond to the queries in the audited reports for year ending 30th June 2025.
Whereas there has been an increase in the stock of debt and interest payments, the overall debt of Uganda is sustainable.
The Auditor General raised a red flag on domestic borrowing, which heightens interest and refinancing risks. The report further cites that such funding carry shorter maturities, hence increasing the cost of debt servicing and crowding out the private sector.
The average time to repay the debt, particularly domestic debt, has improved to 8 years.
PSST Gobi agrees with the AG's proposal that government considers acquisition of concessional external financing to lengthen domestic debt maturities.
After the suspension by the World Bank of our new projects due to some factors, we have worked and restored that. They are back, and other sources of concessional financing. This is financing which is patient, debt which is patient, 50 years, no interest, zero interest.
Gobi told MPs how the current debt can be managed in the medium term.
And also, no, they don't charge us commitment fees. They ask us to budget for them just in case, but they don't charge so often. So that concessional debt is so critical. It will help us to reduce further on the commercial debt.
Despite efforts to manage public debt, among others, the budget allocation for domestic areas has also kept decreasing, aching the MPs. It has been noted that the country's GDP has steadily grown, with a surplus balance of payments registered at $2.7 billion at the end of the last financial year. When asked about the criteria used to waive off taxes to some local companies, PSST Gobi was hesitant to clarify.
There must be maybe a panel you are using where you have the people who are seeking. If we hear that kind of arrangement, not on your shoulders alone, that yes, this is how we do it, and the panel we are using, when people come in, they should address this particular area to handle their challenges.
Because it's not that we are encouraging, but there is people foresee some kind of unfairness in the way this is done. They are telling you Sembule failed because of this. You did not see that Sembule needed an exemption.
All of the people of Uganda who faced a challenge of failing to pay tax and they were being penalized, they were given a waiver as long as you satisfy certain criteria, and we put it in the national budget.
Daniel Mugoya, Gloria Gwitabinji, UBC News.
Business News is up next after this other commercial break.
Mama, only don't tell.
Banange
MTN neyanziza tata omwana ogenda mugambako oba wali wano taliwo
sente zembadde ngenda okusasula ku school fees z'omukulu zigenda kunyambako okuweerera batoobe abalala ababiri MTN mama ngenkoledde kinene nga singa omumaamu sirijjerabira obulamu bwange bwonna
ngenda kusibira kusasula school fees nyiga star 165 *880 ashi sasula school fees ngokozesa momo school funds masoma tugenda zigaba osobola okwewola waliwo school fees loan genda ofune loani oba otolinawo sente ozisasule mu bbanga mpola mpola obulamu butambule nga buli koona.
In 2024, Uganda recorded 37,000 new HIV infections and 20,000 AIDS-related deaths, a situation that calls for collective efforts if the country is to achieve its target of ending AIDS by 2030.
Somebody infecting another person. So there's no way you can say men cannot be infected, only women can be infected. So, from the simple fact that people can infect one another, there's no logic in saying that only women should test. It should be everybody. It's just logical.
Together, we can end AIDS in Uganda. Every second counts. Let's act now. This message is brought to you by Uganda AIDS Commission, Office of the President.
Welcome back. Business news now. And the Minister of State for Trade, David Bahati, has reiterated government's commitment to supporting local manufacturers through reliable electricity and wider markets. He made the remarks during the third pre-budget breakfast dialogue for the fiscal year 2026-2027, organized by the Uganda Manufacturers Association under the theme Harnessing NDP4 to combat informality, eliminate illicit trade, and drive tenfold growth.
Speaking at the dialogue, David Bahati explained that government is investing about $192 million electricity substations in industrial parks across the country so that industries can access cheaper power in the coming years.
We still are committed to ensuring that all manufacturers get at least 0.5 cents within the medium term.
As of the first quarter of 2025, electricity tariffs for manufacturers in Uganda have been reduced. For 2025, the rates are approximately 355.1 shillings per kilowatt hour for medium industries, 300.4 shillings per kilowatt hour for large industries, and 203.6 per kilowatt hour for extra large industrial consumers.
We are investing around $192 million to develop and support the substations in all industrial parks in Uganda. So power is an issue that we're addressing, and I hope that the Minister of Energy will also be in so that if there are any questions, you ask.
The dialogue also spotlighted other statutory and infrastructural difficulties that keep business costs high for manufacturers and made recommendations to governments as it finalizes with appropriations for the national budget financial year 2026-27 to leverage both national and international trade.
To the second schedule of the VAT Act, and particularly item 5, which dealt with memorandums and contracts, memorandums of agreements and contracts. which were attracting stamp duty of 15,000 Ugandan shillings per transaction. However, there are other items in that schedule, and particularly Instrument 52, which seeks to which actually levies 15,000 shillings on every receipt of money or property above 50,000. If this is implemented in the state that it is in, it could lead to, at a cost, imagine you only have 50 transactions of sales, e-receipts. This could translate to about 750,000 Ugandan shillings per day.
Haj Sekalala, the chairman of the Uganda Manufacturers Association, also raised an alarming concern, explaining that illegal products in sectors such as alcohol, pharmaceuticals and cement are affecting profit margins of legitimate businesses and affecting consumers' lives negatively.
Alcohol, nearly 60% of the alcohol sold on the market is illicit. 30% of the pharmaceuticals are illicit. 30% is 1 in 3. So 1 in 3 tablets, if 1 in 3 medicines sold on the market are illicit, this is a big cause for concern, but it is also a big drain on the economy.
As Uganda targets a $500 billion GDP economy, manufacturing is among the government's high priority sectors in NDP4 to drive the country to upper middle income status. It is therefore imperative that the sector operates in a favorable business environment to support the much desired growth. Wadulo Arnold Mark for UBC.
Accountants working with non-profit organizations are set to benefit from a new global accounting framework designed to strengthen transparency, accountability and consistency in financial reporting across the sector. The International Non-Profit Accounting Standard, the first comprehensive accounting framework tailored specifically for non-profit organizations worldwide, has been introduced to address long-standing gaps in financial reporting, governance and financial management. We have more in this story.
Non-profit organizations have long relied on multiple accounting systems and donor-specific reporting formats, creating inconsistencies that limit comparability, credibility, and reliability of financial reports. The Secretary of the NGO Forum, Dr. Stephen Okello, says the tightening funding environment has left many NGOs financially strained and increasingly vulnerable to pressure from funders. He notes that during peak years, NGOs injected more than 4.5 trillion shillings annually into the country's economy, but declining donor support has significantly affected operations.
Our being here for Plus looks at more trusts. And I think for us as a regulator, that means so much to us. And it's also about ensuring that organizations entrusted with public and donor resources operate with transparency. And that's why I'm glad that Samantha and the rest are introducing all these tools and standards.
The president of the Institute of Certified Public Accountants of Uganda, Timothy David Ediom, says the International Non-Profit Accounting Standard introduces a standalone accrual-based reporting framework reflecting the unique funding structures and operational models of non-profit organizations.
This standards for NPOs, International NPO Standard, is to cater for entities in the NGO sector so that the donors look at a consistent report.
The Director for INPAS, Adoption and Engagement, CPA Samantha Musoke, says the standard was developed after extensive global consultations and is expected to transform financial reporting by promoting transparency, accountability, trust, and integrity in the management of the non-profit resources.
For the first time, it introduces this idea of fund accounting in an international standard. That means you can get transparency about the use of unrestricted funds, and that means people can have more confidence to give unrestricted funding without thinking that they therefore have to close their eyes to any kind of transparency and accountability.
The remarks were made during the 2026 NGO Symposium in Kampala, which brought together regulators, accountants, development partners, and civil society leaders to discuss implementation of the new framework at Mistil Hotel.
Is to really create a space of dialogue where we are going to discuss emerging issues within our space, but more importantly for us, we want to really dissect and discuss the new kid on the block, the international non-profit accounting standard.
Meanwhile, Anes Kalibala of AF Mpanga Advocates welcomed the partnership between his law firm, Ikapau, and BDO that brought together more than 350 lawyers, accountants, and NGO leaders to discuss reforms aimed at strengthening transparency, compliance, and integrity in financial reporting for sustainable socioeconomic development.
And one of the critical outcomes for today is to allow us an opportunity to engage with the regulator in a manner that is not you being summoned to come and explain something, but rather, a friendly cup of tea chatting about this and that.
The framework is expected to streamline compliance, improve financial integrity, and rebuild donor confidence in the non-profit sector.
The Muslim World League in Uganda has distributed Ramadan food items to more than 1,700 Muslims across the country to support them during the holy month of Ramadan. The initiative aims at ensuring that vulnerable Muslims are able to observe the pillar of fasting without hardship and celebrate the season with their families despite the current economic challenges.
As Muslims around the world continue observing the fasting period of Ramadan, several organizations have stepped in to support communities with essential food supplies. Among them is the Muslim World League, which has provided a range of food items including cooking oil, sugar, wheat flour, maize flour, beans, and other basic necessities. The support is intended to ease the burden on families and ensure that Muslims are able to observe fasting while maintaining proper meal for iftar and suhoor.
Hey, UBC. UBC.
The beneficiaries included the elderly, persons with disabilities, refugees, and staff from the Uganda Muslim Supreme Council. Speaking on behalf of the council, the spokesperson Haji Ashrafa Movawala thanked the Muslim World League for the support extended to Muslims in Uganda, especially during these challenging economic times.
Of the food baskets which they always provide us during the holy month of Ramadan, we wish to express our profound gratitude to them, that we've worked with them for over 40 years. Indeed, they've done great work for us as Muslims in this country. They've constructed for us mosques, schools, they've constructed for us boreholes, and giving us food during the holy month of Ramadan. May Allah bless them abundantly. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen.
Muslim World League representative highlights their mission to support Muslims and vulnerable communities during Ramadan. Through this initiative, they have distributed food items such as cooking oil, sugar, wheat flour, maize flour, and beans to ensure families are able to observe the pillar of fasting.
We are distributing the food baskets to beneficiaries in Uganda. We started in Luwero, Jinja, Iganga, and now we decided to distribute here at the office. We have distributed among 1,700 families. I pray to Allah that this project should be beneficial to us and the beneficiaries plus the whole country at large.
Let's have a look now at Buza Kamisona segment, where the Director General of Uganda Revenue Authority gets to answer some of the questions that have been sent to him. Take a watch.
Thank you. Welcome back to Buza Commissioner. The question we are dealing with today is from a farmer called William from Bulisa District. And this is what William asked. I want to purchase a farm equipment from Kenya. It is a mini tractor costing around 16 million Uganda shillings. I want to know the possible taxes for this, and if possible, to purchase and come back with it. I need more knowledge. Thank you. Dear William, thank you so much for this question on importation of a tractor from Kenya. And good enough, you have explained that you are a farmer. For a farmer, importing farm equipment, there is zero import duty on a tractor. There is zero VAT. It is VAT exempt. There is no any other tax that you pay except to register your tractor. You will need to pay a registration fee, a one-off first-time registration fee of 268,000 Uganda shillings, and to pay for the tractor number plate, which is also a one-off payment of 714,300. Both these fees are payable for the purpose of registering your tractor. Otherwise, all the other import duties and levies that are paid by other importers when they are bringing such equipment for a farmer, they are absolutely zero. They were waived by the Ugandan government to enable farmers get into agricultural farming. So it is a good incentive for our farmers. And William, as soon as you're ready to raise the 16 million to buy your tractor, you can get it here tax-free. Only prepare that money, which in total is less than 1 million shillings, to fully register your tractor and get your red number plate and start doing your farming. I hope this answer is good for you, William, and you'll go for your tractor very soon. And all those farmers who want to import their tractors. Thank you.
Buza Kamiso now. Now you can get direct answers. Send your tax-related questions via WhatsApp or SMS to 0790-141-887, and the Commissioner General of URA, John Musinguzi, will personally address them.
Are you looking for a home away from home? Then this is the place for you. My name is Chini Kaji, and welcome to Hotel Le Confidential.
With 84 comfortable rooms where you can relax and feel safe. Each room has a lovely view of green vegetation, Wi-Fi, air conditioning, and a tasty breakfast.
Children can have fun at our kids' water park and our kids' play area. You can also enjoy our world-class health club, spa, sauna, gym, boutique, and sky blue swimming pool.
Thank you for choosing Hotel Le Confidential, where every stay is unforgettable. Come and stay in comfort, right at home, today, tomorrow, and always.
Sports news now, and construction at Akibua Stadium in Lira City continues to change the skyline of the town, reflecting a number of public investments underway across the Lango sub-region. As these projects progress, resident district commissioners and security officers have been urged to keep a closer watch on government works to ensure they deliver for the people. Eddie Olua reports.
From the rising stands of Akibua Stadium to roadworks and agricultural programs across the sub-region, officials say close supervision of public projects is necessary to ensure they are completed on time and to the required standards. The stadium, named after Olympic champion John Akibua, is steadily taking shape. Sections of the spectator stands are already visible, while groundwork continues around the athletics track and main pitch. Speaking on behalf of the Minister for the Presidency, the State Minister for Economic Monitoring, Beatrice Akelo Akori, urged government representatives in the region to take a more active role in following up projects and helping communities understand the programs being implemented.
As leaders representing the president in the districts, you must always speak and act from an informed position. For you to remain relevant, you must provide content. When you talk Holocaust, nobody comes back to you again. You will hear meetings taking place, nobody invites you. Just know, either you are about to lose your relevance or you are already lost.
She said this while opening the capacity building workshop for RDCs, their deputies, assistants, regional and district security officers from the Lango sub-region, aimed at improving coordination and government service delivery.
We also take them through as far as security management and the geopolitical emerging threats are concerned.
During the deliberations, some officials called for clearer policies that would allow them to participate in other local government structures, including committees responsible for roads and public accounts.
Now that this money is also being increased, it means more abuse on these funds. Let's find out, can RDCs be part of this roads committee in the districts?
Even Service Commission, we are also going to be there to see.
The discussions also touched on programs such as the Agricultural Credit Facility, leadership development, and emerging security concerns.
And that brings us to the end of this bulletin. Thank you so much for having kept us company. On sign language, it has been Elizabeth Nakakuni, and I am Rukidi Kiijjanangoma, wishing you a blessed night. But up next year on UBC TV, it is Super Soul Sisters that will be followed later on at 10 by Behind the Headlines.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.
Ni aima tetalo kelo pieni alakala ka bedotie pi ma tetalo kelo utie maleng lona manaka watwomo
baleri wa pepea kumbeni ma ene da ko leng pe da ko yel da ko matar ofo tetwal ni kelo pi tetal.
As for now, you see, I'm very happy. Now the roofs are okay, the walls are now okay, the whole school looks very beautiful. Everybody who comes is seeing, really appreciating and saying, wow, that is good. So I appreciate the funders and those who thought about Kirama Primary School.
Itani mado no wanetara tena wado ngina kwa na bed.
I'm very happy for Total for putting in this initiative. Really, as a community, it has not been easy because we do find with the limited facilities, limited human resource, we have been having challenges. You could come and take a lot of time, at times sitting under the trees, sitting down on the floor, but really with the new structure they have put in, I believe services are going to improve.
When this rain came and blew over our roof, it has spoiled a lot of our things that we have kept in the house, because when the rain was raining, all of us were inside.